say no to the new Jim Crow.
Stop and frisk has got to go.
Oh, we say no to the new Jim Crow.
Stop and frisk has got to go.
We say no to the new Jim Crow.
Stop and frisk has got to go.
We say no to the new Jim Crow.
I'm just going to talk a little bit about the numbers. A lot of people say, well, stop and frisk must work since crime is down. In the early part of this year, crime went down, even as stop and frisk went down. So the correlation, the relationship between crime and stop and frisk is false. It does not work. Crime is a result of the economic situation that we live in. And you know Far Rockaway has been isolated and marginalized for way too long. Way before the storm, there was a crisis up in Rockaway. And they never acknowledged it. All they did was send out their cops to take everybody off the streets. And most stops don't result in guns. Less than half of 1% of stops end up with a gun.
Wow.
So when they talk about it taking guns off the street, 99.5% of the time ain't taking no guns off the streets.
No.
They're looking for nickel bags, they're looking for small little things, they're looking for any little thing. And if they don't get you and you come out your mouth, they give you disorderly conduct. Or they give you something else and they put you into the pipeline, the private prison pipeline, where they make tons of money. Judges have been caught getting bribed for putting kids in jails all over this country, okay? They make a business. 90% of inmates in federal prisons are people of color. People of color, the overwhelming majority are black. So when we talk about the new Jim Crow, we ain't talking hyperbole. We're talking this is the real Jim Crow. This is the reason our children are growing up without fathers. This is the reason our children are growing up without their older brothers, because they have no more options out here in the hood. They have no other options out here. And we close in schools, and we close in hospitals, and we close in mental health clinics. Everything that government is supposed to do for the public here has been taken away. The one part of government that is expanding is police. Because they know that we don't have the schools, when we don't have the hospitals, when we don't have the mental health, we're gonna get crazy. We're gonna start degrading our society, and they're gonna come in with the SWAT teams and with the helicopters and eventually with the drones, and they're gonna come in and they're gonna say, we wanna hold this down, we wanna put y'all in prison instead of giving you an education. So we gotta fight back against the police state whenever we see it. And the Community Safety Act bill is the smallest measure of reform that's coming up. It's just somebody who's coming in who's gonna look over the NYPD, and they don't even want that. Now, when people who support stop and frisk, what do they say? Well, I don't got nothing to hide, right? You ain't got nothing to hide, so what's your problem? You get stopped and frisked, right? What does the NYPD have to hide if they don't even want an inspector looking at their tactics and what they do? The federal trial right now is coming out with testimony from a state senator who said, Ray Kelly said the tactic is used to instill fear in the black and brown community. He said it. So he said it behind closed doors. And it's been in testimony in a federal trial. Testimony in federal trial also includes officers who've blown whistles on the commanding officers who come out with quotas. So it's not all about reasonable suspicion. It's about quotas, it's about getting their numbers up. Because that's how they make their promotions. That's why commanding officers in the Far Rock 101 precinct get promoted. It's all about numbers. And they've been instructed by their commanding officers to bring up those numbers, the arrest, and just take everybody like a big fishnet, just see what you can find. That's not law enforcement. That's not how police used to be. Police work involves detective work. You go out and you stop crime that way. You don't come around and just take everybody wholesale and stop them over and over and over and over. That's not how it works. So I'm here today to say Rockaway ain't gonna be rebuilt back with dunes and with everything without some justice. You start first with justice or you won't get peace. And if you don't get peace, now you know why there's violence in the communities. We need justice first.